Last point I would make, I think this is another thing that India and the United States share, is there's a healthy skepticism about public service, particularly electoral politics. In the United States, people generally hold politicians in fairly low esteem. Sometimes for good reason, but some of it is just because the view is that somehow government, can't do anything right. And here in India, one of the big impediments to development is the fact that in some cases the private sector is moving much faster than the public sector is moving. And I would just suggest that I hope some of you decide to go ahead and get involved in public service, which can be frustrating. It can be, at times slow. You don't see progress as quickly as you'd like. But India is going to need you, not just as businessmen, but also as leaders who are helping to reduce bureaucracy and make government more responsive and deliver services more efficiently. That's going to be just as important in the years to come. Because otherwise you're going to get an imbalance where some are doing very well, but broad-based economic growth is not moving as quickly as it could.
Hello, my name is Siddhi Deshpande. I actually wanted to ask you, you mentioned Mahatma Gandhi ji a lot, usually in your speeches. So I was just wondering, how exactly do you implement his principles and his values in your day-to-day life, and how do you expect the people in US to implement those values?
Well,
thank you.
It's a terrific question. Let me say first of all that he, like Dr. King, like Abraham Lincoln, are people who I'm constantly reading and studying, and I find myself falling woefully short of their example all the time. So, I'm often frustrated by how far I fall short of their example. But I do think that at my best, what I'm trying to do is to apply principles that fundamentally come down to something shared in all the world's religions, which is to see yourself in other people, to understand the inherent worth and dignity of every individual, regardless of station, regardless of rank, regardless of wealth, and to absolutely value and cherish and respect that individual. And then hopefully try to take that principle of treating others as you would want to be treated, and find ways where that can apply itself in communities, and in cities, and in states, and ultimately in a country and in the world. As I said, I often find myself falling short of that ideal. But I tend to judge any particular policy based on, is this advancing that spirit? That it's helping individuals realize their potential. That it's making sure that all children are getting an education, so that I'm not just worrying about my children. That I'm thinking first and foremost about the United States of America, because that's my responsibility as president, but I'm also recognizing that we are in an interrelationship with other countries in the world, and I can't ignore an abuse of human rights in another country. I can't ignore hardships that may be suffered by somebody of a different nationality. That, I think, more than anything, is what I carry with me on a day-to-day basis. But it's not always apparent that I'm making progress on that front. One of the other things I draw from all great men and women, like a Gandhi, though, is that on this journey you're going to experience setbacks, and you have to be persistent and stubborn. And you just have to keep on going at it, and you'll never roll the boulder all the way up the hill, but you may get it part of the way up.